Emma couldn't sleep that night. She awoke with a very dry throat. She made her way to the kitchen to get a glass of water. She noticed the cabinet door slightly jarred. A stream of light had petered out and shone on the tiled floor. Emma was caught off guard, nearly dropped her glass. That cabinet was where canned foods were usually kept. That is, if her parents remembered to buy any food at all. This last bout with the bottle had taken a terrible toll on their minds as well as their bodies. Emma's mother and her boyfriend Jack didn't even remember to bring in the mail. The door swung open slowly and the stream of light widened. Emma took a step or two back. A black-gloved hand appeared out of the light, grasping a marotte or sceptre, a staff with a shiny crystal ball on top. Then a strange figure followed, just showing the front half of his body. The stranger wriggled out of the cramped cabinet and crawled onto the counter where the dingy microwave sat near the kitchen sink. He was dressed as a jester, only his outfit was mostly black lace and black leather pants. The black lace covered most of his chest, but not his forearms, which were littered with many tattoos of skulls, dragons, and Chinese writing. He wore a mask that resembled what people wore at Mardi Gras. Emma had seen a photo of the celebration and felt a little frightened. Why did they need to wear masks? What were they hiding? She would often ask the grown-ups around her, but no one could ever satisfy her with an answer. "Don't be frightened," the stranger said. "Let me introduce myself." He took a bow. "I am Giraurd, master entertainer and guide extraordinaire." Emma was too frightened to speak. She nearly burst in tears, but held them back. Her lips trembled, and her widened eyes produced a ring of water at the bottom. "Speak, child," Giraurd said, adding much-needed sugar to his slithering words. "There's no need to be afraid, I assure you." He spun in a circle, his closed fist extended in air. He spun again, tapped his sceptre twice on the floor. He brought his fist down slowly and revealed a dove sitting perfectly in the palm of his hand. He smiled hugely as he brought it closer to Emma's face. He folded his hand over the dove and tapped the sceptre twice more. Giraurd opened his hand to reveal a chocolate bar, which he offered to Emma, and she reluctantly took. She did, however, show a hint of interest, if not a bit of awe, at Giraurd's conjuring. "Now, my beauty, what is your name?" he said, as syrupy as he could, and still baring all of his teeth the way an alligator shows its prey. "Emma," she said quietly. "Oh, I love that name!" Giraurd exclaimed and spun around once more, taking a knee along with another bow. "Milady's name has such an alluring ring to it," he announced. Emma peeled away the wrapping paper from the chocolate and nervously took a bite. "Could this be your home, Emma?" Giraurd took short strides into the living room, examining the bottles and clothing littering the floor. Emma shook her head. "No," she whispered hoarsely. "Belongs to a neighbour, Mr. Suskind. My parents pay him to live here." He stopped and watched the television screen of several large men and women sitting around a long table discussing the state of the world. He pointed at the glowing box and quietly chuckled. He gave Emma a salacious smile. "If they only knew," he said, with a grievous brow entering his forehead. "I have to be serious with you for a bit, my little Emma." Giraurd motioned for her to come to him as he sat on the arm of the sofa. Slowly, Emma stepped toward him, finishing off the chocolate bar. Giraurd smiled at her again, staring into her face. He touched her stiff shoulder with a hand. He spoke deliberately, choosing each word carefully. "You don't really like living here, do you?"